Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Sylvia and today I am bringing you the mid-year freakout tag. And yes, I realize it's almost the end of July, so it's better late than never, right? All right, let's jump right in. So question one is best book you've read so far in 2022. I had a hard time with this one. Two of my favorites this year have been Mirrorland by Carol Johnstone. This book is about a girl who, she is from Scotland, but she has moved to America and she's been there for like the last 10 years of her life because her and her twin sister had this huge falling out years ago and they've had no contact with each other and she has gone missing. So she has now come home so she can help find her twin. And she believes that her and her twin have this extreme bond that if something were to happen to her, she would feel it, she would know. So the fact that she hasn't had a significant like emotional thing happen, like feeling, she thinks her sister is still alive. And what you realize is that her and her twin have lived this extremely messed up life. So there are trigger warnings for abuse in this story. And as we are going through the story, you're realizing that these two have created this world called Mirrorland, and their imaginations are magnificent. They have been able to jump into these worlds and have these imaginary friends and real people go with them. And it has just been one hell of a ride. I listened to it on audiobook through Scribd, I believe it was, and I freaking loved every minute of it. Just getting to hear about Mirrorland and then the story jumping back to the present of what was going on at the time. So you're going back and forth of trying to find out what happened to the twin sister and what happened, like things that happened all those years ago, and then memories and things that are happening now. I gave it a 5-star, one of my favorite reads so far from this year. And then the other book that I really enjoyed that I gave a 5-star was The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I loved that one, and that book is about you're going through multiple point of views and you're going from like present to past as well, and you're getting it from the mother's point of view, the girl who went missing, and then an outsider who's kind of gotten thrown into the story because she's new and she's kind of investigating and figuring it out. She's an author who has moved with her fiance because he's going to be like the headmaster of a school. And I really enjoyed that, like getting the different points of view, the different thoughts, just everything about that story I really enjoyed. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2022. So I started The Last Oracle by Melissa McShane. So I'm pretty much all the way through the series. I'm on the last book now, and I have loved it. It's a very cute, simple story. You've got a girl who kind of becomes the custodian of the Oracle, which is a bookstore, and in the first book, and then you're going through each book, there's a new obstacle being thrown at you, and there's a cute little simple romance in there. It's not too steamy or anything crazy like that, and then you're just getting the different obstacles that are happening, and I freaking loved it. Like I literally started with book 1 and kind of forgot about everything else I was reading and jumped and literally listened to all of them. The last book does not have an audiobook, which is the only reason I have not read it yet. So waiting, that one will be read probably next week or the following week. Book 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. So there's 2 on this list. It's House Across the Lake and The Things We Do in the Dark. I have not read those yet. And I'm ready to. I need to, like right now. So actually, I don't know if Things We Do in the Dark has been released yet. I know it's coming out this month. It may be this week that it's being released. But anyways, those two books are books that I need to get to by the end of this month, and I am really excited. I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews, especially on House Across the Lake. I know with Riley Sagar's books, there are a couple that are extremely loved and some that are extremely disliked. And if you're on this spectrum, you tend not to like these, but if you like these, you don't tend to like these. It's very funny to see the differences in people's likes and dislikes for his books. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I actually couldn't think of one. And then I was like, holy shit, how did I not remember this? It's the Dreamer trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater. It's the last book. It's Greyworn. And the way book 2 ended had me all types of riled up and pissed off, and I was ready to freak out. And when I realized it was going to be a whole year before I could read it, like a year and a half before I could read it, I practically cried. So I am so excited for October. I think October 12th is the release. Can we hurry up and get to October? I really want to get to the last book. I know I'm going to have to do a reread just to kind of get my emotions back into the game and get to that final book. The next question is biggest disappointment. The Retreat by Sherry Smith. It was a massive disappointment because I expected so much more from the story. Like, I know I just did my June wrap up and I talked about it where it started out with such a bang, and I read it and I literally went, holy shit, called my daughter. I was like, okay, I know you're going to be reading this book too, but I want you to read just this part. And she's like, okay. So she did, and she was like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to finish it so I can start it. And then it fell flat. I definitely want to give Sherry Smith another try because it could just be the one particular book. It wasn't a horrible story. It could have just been so much more. Next question is biggest surprise. I went with 56 Days, and I went with 56 Days because I was a little nervous going into the story. I was excited to go into the story, but I was nervous because the pandemic, COVID, was a point of this story. So it's kind of one of those, is this going to be like a Resident Evil zombie type of thing? Like, even though I read the synopsis and you're just like, what is this going to be like? Because this could go so many ways. And then the way the COVID tied the story together, she nailed it. It was freaking awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. The next question is favorite new author, debut, or new to you. I'm going to go with Darcy Coates. When I go into Barnes & Noble with my daughter and stuff, I have seen her books and I have wanted to get books. And I think I actually have 3 or 4 books. I haven't picked them up because you know how it is. You see books, you buy them, get home, and you realize you may never read them because I'm a huge mood reader. So yes, I wanted them at that point, but in 3 days time, I am totally reading something else because that book is what jumped out at me at the time. I don't mean to. I know I have problems. This is why I'm doing my best not to buy books, but whatever. We don't talk about it. My husband appreciates that I at least make the effort. Next book is newest fictional crush. So I'm going to have to go with Malcolm Campbell from the last Oracle series. He is definitely an alpha male. He definitely loves his woman and he is there to protect her. And I love that about him. I really do. And I love that he has so much respect for Helena, and as the relationship progresses and they finally say things to each other, I really, really love the dynamic because he wants to protect her, but at the same time, he's like, I respect your wishes and I won't stop you from doing things, but that's not going to stop him from trying to protect her. Love it. Newest favorite character. Helena Davies. That girl has got some spunk. I love her. There's things about her that, come on, Helena, pull your butt out of your head out of your butt. But she's got a strong she's got a great personality. She is a very loyal friend, and she's from the last Oracle series by Melissa McShane, and her personality and the way that she's willing to do whatever she needs to as the new custodian of Abernathy's and to step up and be part of that world. Even though she has not been raised and been part of that world, she is amazing. Like, very strong female character. I love her very much. Next question is book that made you cry. Okay, so I did some rereads. And the books that made me bawl my eyes out, Written in the Scars by Adriana Locke. The Last Letter from Rebecca Yarros. A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Then there was The Line Between by Tamsin Bester. And then I haven't reread them yet because even though I want to, I'm going to. There's 2 more that are going to be on that list. They just didn't make it to this one. And yeah, so those books made me bawl my eyes out in the car on my way to work. So while I'm in the parking lot at work, like touching up making sure my mascara isn't running and stuff. Yeah. And I'm not puffy. Yeah. Those ripped out my heart. We talked about those in my top 5 saddest books. And those aren't just like the saddest books. Those are like the top books that have made me ugly cry. Because it's not that they're sad. They touch on rough subjects. They talk on heartbreak. They talk on a bunch of things. They rip your heart out. There's no better way to describe that. Next question is book that made you happy. A book that made me happy is The Not Outcast by Tijin. The things that are said in this book. So this book touches on mental disease, and I loved it. She handled it in such an amazing way. And then the 3 female characters in this book, which are Cheyenne, Sasha, and Melanie. These 3 together are chef's kiss. They are 3 of the most amazing characters, and how they bounce off of each other and the things that they say. I had me rolling. Like, the first time I ever read it, I was dying. Second time I read it, again, like, I had tears in my eyes from laughing so hard. Like, top notch. One of my favorites. The next question is most beautiful book that you bought so far this year or received. So I accidentally renewed, financially, I can't renew every month the Owl Crate box, so I do here every once in a while. And I just got the last box for last month, I believe it was. And they had a copy of Pride and Prejudice on it, and it was beautiful. It's a simple cover with white and purple, and it's like purple flowers, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I can't wait to annotate that book. So that one can sit on my shelves. And the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So this is going to be backlist stuff. There's stuff by Candy Steiner that I have not read yet that I need to get my ass to finally. I love Candy. Candy is Queen of Angst. I love her. And I don't think, and it's the last episodes of PSU that I did not get to, that I have not finished. So I need to get on the ball with that. Stacey Hart did a series where she revisited she did like the Bennetts, but she role reversed and did instead of sisters, it's brothers. So I need to finish those. And then The Summer I Turned Pretty, I read the first book years ago, and now with the series and stuff, I'm doing a reread of the first one and actually finally reading the last 2. So I want to do that. And then years ago in 2016, 10 authors did a novella series called Love in the 80s. And it's one for each year. And I fell in love with the idea, and I didn't actually want to start it then because I was like, no, I got to wait until the last one comes out, because they did one a month starting from January of 2016 to October 2016. So I didn't read them. And then because I'm a mood reader, I never actually read them because I'm an asshole. So I want to do that now. And that is one of my goals for by the end of the year, is to get all those finished and done. So that has been my halfway point. And here's the funny part. I got into a reading slump where just nothing really intrigued me. I was busy with my business. I was busy baking and doing markets and just doing things. So I actually didn't pick up a book until April. So we are almost to my reading goal, because my goal every year is to read at least one book a week for the year. That is my goal. And we're already like 14 books ahead. Yay, me! I'm proud of myself for jumping on that, because I like to do more than that, but that is kind of just my goal for the year. So thank you for hanging out, and I will catch you guys in the next one.